I think we're live now. No fancy intro. We're just gonna jump right in and gonna get started with this. We're super excited about part 2 of this challenge. We have a fantastic amount of material to work with from the previous winners from the first part of the contest. Fabio, how you doing?
Not too bad. How's it going, James?
Good. Can everybody hear us out there? If you can't hear us, I'm sure you'll let us know.
Conrad,
Conrad, hey.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here too.
How you
all right,
doing?
that was it.
Excellent. Next. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
So, Conrad, tell us a little bit about the competition, the work that the artists did. Were you disappointed? Were you happy? Were you surprised? What was your feeling when we?
I was actually surprised, but I wasn't disappointed at all. I was surprised because I was expecting more of that kind of diorama kind of look where we have like a 3D kind of turntable thing where maybe they still rendered the models in like a realistic lighting, but there was like no background environment. I wasn't expecting the background environments. I wasn't expecting finished images from the competition. So that was where I was surprised. But man, some of the submissions were way beyond what I expected. Especially, the top 3 were like significantly good.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were very good. Yeah, I think
Jason, people are saying that my audio is low. Is it?
I can hear you quite well, but I don't know. I can't turn it on, or it'll go through the stream.
Yeah.
Audio.
Then I'll talk a little bit louder. I can see my mic clipping.
Okay, but anyway, I think he didn't say he can't hear you. Fabio's volume being low is maybe not a bad thing. No, so I think it's interesting that you say that, because you were looking maybe for something differently than what we expect to, because we always expect to see a final image, right? Like that's what from our challenges that we've always done. And I assume that the people who enter them also expect they will make a final image, right? Like that's like always has been the point of our challenges. And maybe that wasn't maybe we didn't really properly explain like what we wanted. But I think in the end it turned out just fine. And I think with the material that we got from those people to work with, we'll have something that it will be able to work with to do the next part now.
Yeah, but definitely. This should be an invitation to those who are watching now the video to come to us in the groups that we have created on Facebook to ask for clarifications. And probably one thing that we should do later when the stream is over is to create a thread where we discuss the project and ways to submit a project according to what we are looking for. So that maybe, the conversation can help people understanding a little bit what the outcome
what's expected.
Yeah. And, on the other end, I just want to remind people that the reason why we do such competitions is for you to push yourself in terms of like, what can you make without a very strict brief. And so, if you do break the rules, we're not going to kick you out. Maybe you're not going to win if some judges are going to say, no, this is too far from what we were expecting. But nevertheless, this should be an exercise for you to try things that you wouldn't normally try or you would not normally do. And so I think that this should be the spirit of these competitions. And of course, and up until now, some of the winners that we have seen were those who were able to break very creatively the rules that we made, right?
Yeah, totally.
I think so too. I think that's actually something that ends up making the work stand apart from the rest, in some way.
It's interesting looking at these competitions compared to the bigger competitions run by other outfits, you tend to get this mainstream bulk of submissions that they look different enough, but they're also all in the same vein. Whereas like the submissions we got for the last competition were so dynamic. There was so many different styles and approaches that it was really it was quite unique in that way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So let's actually have a quick look. I'm gonna share the screen so you guys can see, and gonna have a quick look at the images that we had before, because I think that would be an interesting thing to see here. Can you guys see that?
Not yet. There we go.
Wait, let me see if it's up on the... there we go. Okay, it's streaming. Yeah, so these were the top 10 images. Our ideal situation would have been to have all 10, to use all 10 as a part of the second part, but we did not get... We got images or the passes and stuff that we needed from 7 of the people, which is, I think, plenty to work with. But we wanted to go ahead and show all top 10. Perhaps one of them slips in here at the last moment and sends us some material. We can always put that up for use on the submission or on the challenge page. Sorry. But yeah, I just wanted to go through and show these again because they're worth showing again for sure. This was the first place from Ryan. Great job. I used one of his passes for the thumbnail for today's show. From Nuno. Beautiful. I can already see elements that you could take out of these, to use. This one's from Nicolo. Sorry, always getting my Italian pronunciation, is so Americanized. So Vittorio.
It's okay. My name is Fabio, and he keeps calling me Mario.
Better than Luigi.
And I'm James, so it's all good.
Every time that I go and sing at his house, he's asked me to fix the toilet. I'm like, I'm not a plumber.
Yeah, it's so funny because this happened to me so many times that somebody called me James after I'd introduced myself as Jason. So
I witnessed that myself at the D2.
And I was like, no, it's not James. And then
I've had things like Concad and like just
Concad
stuff that
good. I like that.
stuff that doesn't even exist as a name. At least James exists as a name, and I can see like Jason, James, Fabio, Mario. Whereas Concad is not a name. It's not somebody's name. You can't just know. Although the most common one I get is Connor. Because I guess in a loud place you say Conrad and they don't really hear it, but yeah, who knows.
So we have if I can remember correctly, we have material from the first 3 for sure. From Vittorio, No.4, we have it.
Yep.
Raul, this image we had as well. From Maria.
Yep, that one's in there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's one more.
What? One more. Nicholas.
I'm gonna look real quick. If I can try not to open my emails on the stream.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, really.
Wouldn't be the last time either.
So the one from Alexandre Picaño is not in there, I don't think yet. Which one was that?
Alex.
I think
I'm not sure.
this one.
Maybe that
this
was.
one. It was this one.
It is
AP
that one.
rendering,
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so those are these will be the ones which we have the material for to do the to begin the challenge with. If we get something from the others in the next day or so, we probably can put that up as well, right? So
we should probably tell people what they're actually doing with these.
Well, we're going to leave that up to
time.
you. I just wanted to go ahead and show this stuff first. And,
I agree. So
please, Conrad.
So the brief is we've got 3 weeks. Again, similar to the first part, where we had 3 weeks to create these 3D environment models and images, finished renders. So now the task is to take one of, or any collection of these final images. We have these renders to provide to you to download for free, and you can cut them up. We've got the render passes, so you have things like alphas, material IDs, and if you're not sure about it, don't worry. We'll have a tutorial that's going to be free to watch that will explain how you can use those passes. And the brief is to take any of the renders and create an entirely new environment and create the background environment to for that foreground render to sit on top of. So let's take Nuno's render, Jason, if you can open that up in full screen. So what you could do with this image is you could remove the sky, and then you could start to place different mountains or different favela environments behind this this foreground piece. The other thing you could do is you could cut out these favela stacks entirely, and you could just use the rooftops of these foreground ones. So you could cut them out, and then you could extend that into a favela sort of environment. So the only requirement is to use something from these images as the base, and then to work primarily in Photoshop. Now, if you want to do some 3D work, that's okay. But just remember that we are judging based on the 2D processes that you apply to the 3D. So if you do some 3D work, you create some new favela, scattering of some favelas to use, then just remember to do as much photographic work on top of that in Photoshop, because that's what we're going to be primarily judging on. There's over 100 photos of the Brazilian favela Rocinha, which is available to download for free. So maybe, Jason, I'll share my screen now, if that's a good time.
Let me stop. I need to allow you. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Then I can step everyone through.
Okay, go ahead.
Cool.
Conrad, let's just make a very quick parenthesis. This challenge is going to be 100% a Photoshop or any post-production software that people want to use sort of challenge, right? It's a chance for artists who maybe work in 3D, or maybe artists who are just focused on matte painting, to really refine their skills and put whatever sort of like technique that they have into use, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So the whole idea is, if you're a 3D artist, you want to expand your skill set into a 2D realm. And I know that for many 3D artists, me included, there's this relentless pursuit of perfection in 3D. And because I used to be a 3D environment artist using Vue and Terrigen and other software like that, and I would try and get to as photorealistic as possible before I took it to Photoshop, and I felt like Photoshop was cheating. Anything that I did in Photoshop was like, well, you didn't do it in 3D, so it's not, you didn't really get it there. Then after 6 years of doing that, I shifted into matte painting, and I'm now entirely a 2D artist. And I only use photography and do some basic modeling and projection. And I could tell you that understanding both just leaps and bounds. It makes your skill set is 10x, because you can bring your 3D modeling up to like 80%, and then you can switch to the Photoshop side. So to show you, we'll have a link to this page in the comments, and I'll post it in the chat in a moment.
The link is already in the description of the video, but we'll add some more info later too. Yeah, but that's in there already.
Excellent. So. Awesome. Okay. So you just click here to join the challenge, and that once you have an account, they're free to get. It will bring you to your own submissions page. But I'm just going to go back for 1 second, and we'll show you that in a minute. So we have the brief here. We've got various community groups that you can join, from the D2 Conferences Facebook group to our Facebook group and Discord. We have the prizes. So the prizes, to go over those, are for first place, you get a Mattepaint Artist Pro 12-month subscription, CG Architect Pro 12-month subscription. There's a 3D pack from a company called Big, Medium, Small, which is a new kit bash company from Jama Durabev. I don't even know if I pronounced that name correctly, but and then there's Sinai Software, who I'm not familiar with, but there's a 1 year.
Some plugins for 3ds Max.
Yeah, cool. So then the second and third place are somewhat similar, but just slightly smaller. We have the similar judges as the last time. The judges haven't been entirely finalized, so we've got a few extra judges to come along for the end of this one. Then there's some FAQs. If you've got any questions that are not answered by this list here, please just drop them in any of the forums. I'm sure it'll get back to us, because people are pretty vocal about, saying, hey, Jason, or hey, Conrad, like someone's got a question. So to find the downloads for the competition, once you have joined the contest, come over to the announcements tab. And then here on the right-hand side, you will find all of the attachments that you can download. Now, there are more coming. At the moment, we only have 3 of the renders, so there will be 7 in total. And the top one here is the photo reference of Rocinha. So you can find those images as well on the gallery. If we go to the Mattepaint gallery, and on the right-hand side here, you'll see the Brazilian favelas. Click on that, and you can see all of those images. Now, these are available for free for you guys at a certain resolution. But if you need a higher resolution, they're obviously available here on the site.
Also, the prices are not finalized. I just wanted to add this, because there are more prizes coming from our end as well. That's
true.
Yep. More prizes. Well, that sounds
actually
good.
We could already give a shout out to the sponsors, and also announce some of the new prizes already. I mean, some of them need to be finalized. We should have done this at the beginning. We forgot. It's all right. Jason, you want to do the honor?
Well, we didn't actually talk about it, so I don't know which ones did we want to announce, because I don't want to be too...
Well, first of all, let's just thank the sponsors on our end: CG Architect, Sinai. Who else do we have?
Big, Medium, Small, and of course Mattepaint.
Yeah,
our friends at Mattepaint. But we also have a new sponsor coming in, and this sponsor will stay with us for a while: Deposit Photos. Winners will also get prizes from them. We have to finalize which kind of prize, but it's very exciting for us to announce this partnership, at least for the length of a year. There are some sponsors that we're working on right now to sort of finalize and bring you guys more.
Let's just announce this. This will be announced a little bit later.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll have to update the page at some point with the full prizes. All right, so the last last thing to show you here is once you've joined the competition, you want to submit your submission, come over to the My Submission area. And in here, this is where you can give this a name, Favelas of Brazil. You can name your project whatever you want, give it a description. And then down here is where we create an update. So we encourage you to submit your updates as you're working on them. From our past competitions, we've found that largely those who submit their work to the community and get feedback from the community are the ones that end up in the top 5 and potentially even win. There was a couple of guys who won directly from getting feedback from pros in the community. So we definitely encourage you to submit your work. So to create an update, we can click here, say yes, I read it, sure, yep, I didn't, but I don't even think I've read it. And then and then here I can go to say I'll just find, here's Ryan's image. I can upload that and say, this is what I did. I did all of this. and then I can publish this. Now, once you've submitted one work in progress, you can now submit your final if you wish. And to submit your final, you click again, upload your image, and then toggle this button here. And that will tell us that, hey, this is the final image that I have for the competition. If you go away and you come back and you decide, oh, actually, I have a new final, you can just submit another final, and we'll just use the latest final that you have.
Yeah, I actually noticed in the last time, I felt like some people didn't know or didn't realize what they were supposed to do there, and like set it to final after the deadline because they were like, oh shit, I don't know if those got in or not, but did you give a little?
They wouldn't have, except that there was one that I noticed that was within about 2 hours of the finish line. So we let that one in, but I think there was another one or two that came through that were about a day or so late. So it's kind of like,
that's too late.
Yeah, but certainly that's worth mentioning is make sure that if it's your final image, then check this box. Or even if it's you're close to the final, you can always submit another one. So you're better off just submitting multiple finals.
At least one of them should, at some point, something should be final before the deadline. That's if you want it to be considered, right? So I just wanted to bring that up just so it's clear that people understand that they need to do that, right? Because
yes, that's a very good point.
And I'm saying this only because I know from before when we did it, the challenges ourselves, they just had to submit the image at the end. There was no like pre-images or anything. So just so they know, you have to mark it as final.
Yes. So the next thing you'll see across here are some milestones. So each week, if you submit a work in progress, each week you'll get 50 credits to use on the Mattepaint gallery. So you'll even get just 50 credits just by registering. And if you achieve all of the weeks, then you'll get a bonus 50 credits. So there's something like 300 credits just being, that we're just giving away if you hit each week. And that's just a little thanks from us for actually like working as you go along, because we know, and I know personally, that artists will leave it till the second last day before the submission, before we actually go, oh, hang on, I need to crank that out. So that is about it. That's the overall. If maybe Jason or Fabio, if you guys have any questions about the system.
Well, I see somebody asking a question, and Michael, man, come on. What kind of question is this? He's asking, are assets from Mattepaint and the theme of Favela still a compulsory for this challenge? Yes, Michael. It's called Digital Favelas. So yes, I'm not trying to be mean to Michael, but I just He's always around for the challenges.
The only thing I would say is that you're not forced to use the assets from us. If you have your own photography of the favelas, sure, go ahead. But definitely you has to be a theme of favelas, or at least inspired by the favelas, and you have to use the base renders from at least one of the.
Yes, and that was going to be my question. Was yes, from Mattepaint it doesn't have to be used, but the topic is digital favelas still, and there is it's compulsory to use something from one of the images that was created, like exactly what you're showing now, and that's the thing, at least one, right? You could use something from all of them if you want, but at least one of them has to be used. And perhaps it's not a bad idea to, in your preview images, to show where that is perhaps now, so we can see that as well.
Yes, like in your work in progress, it's a great idea to just quickly hack and cut up some of the elements that you think you're going to use, and just submit that to the system and say, this is what I'm planning on using. That really helps to when we come to judging, we can look back through that progression and see exactly where your thought process has gone.
Yeah.
I think I see another one from Dario saying, I'm using an image that is in portrait mode and I make a landscape one. That is completely fine. I would recommend a landscape orientation, because it's more friendly to environments. There's more content that you can fit in, but if you want to make it portrait, that's completely fine.
Yeah, because he asked earlier, does the image we're using need to remain as it is, or can we cut pieces from it? You can absolutely cut it up and take just tiny pieces out of it. You can use it in any way you need to. Or is that right, Conrad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That is correct. I think that's about it from my end. You'll get a couple of emails to remind you about your submissions each week. Don't forget. Keep thinking about it and get started early, and then at least you can leave it for a week and you can let the ideas sink in.
And we will be adding some other, we'll be making sure that the schedule's all right and everything's updated. So keep just check back. Make sure to check back again in a day or two, just to make sure everything's like it is,
And
like
of course, feel free to come and look for us in the groups. If things are not clear, we're gonna try and have a conversation. But as Conrad has already mentioned, there will be a tutorial going live in a few days, I guess.
Yeah, probably tomorrow. I'll do it as soon as, it's 9-10 p.m. here, so I'll do it as soon as I wake up.
And so, we're going to look a little bit at the possibilities, what it is that you guys can do with this project. And maybe, since we reach mainly people that come from the 3D world, it might be a chance for you guys to exercise your 2D skills. Because, I feel like there is a little bit of nastiness for a 3D artist to say, I use Photoshop for that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I feel so dirty.
Yeah, that's exactly how I used to feel. Like, I used a grade and a color balance in Photoshop. Like, I didn't get my light colors correct.
Like in the old days when we were making architectural visualization photos, so renderings, we would always use a picture projected frontally of a field or something, and we just would use the grass.
Oh, yep.
For the displacement. And I remember discussing this technique with some people, and artists were mad. They were like, but this is not physically correct. And I'm like, who cares? The client was happy. Move on.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so Michael asked another question, was, he was like, so I can't twist the image and make it not digital favela themed? Yeah, trying not to be dumb, but for matte painting, it's easy to be swayed away from the original image. In my opinion, do whatever you want. I don't know what Conrad's looking for. I don't know what Fabio's looking for. We all come to it with a certain thing, but I believe that generally the idea of the digital favelas is standing, the theme, But of course, if you use something from one of the images, I would say you can still enter it. It's just generally the theme would be Digital Favelas. Conrad, what
Yeah,
do you think?
and yeah, I agree. And just to clarify, it's not digital favelas being it has to be futuristic favelas. It's
Right.
the digital side is that we are creating them on a computer, and
Yeah.
so it can be futuristic favelas if you want it to be. But it doesn't have to be. It's not like, oh, this is cyberpunk. We're cyberpunking up the favela theme. I think it really comes down to you being able to convey that you were inspired by the environment to create whatever you create. So actually, Jason, if you show the really crazy environment image with I'm not sure who it was that I'll find it. Where is it? It was top 6. It was Nicholas. The next one.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah.
Yeah. So this made it to our top 10. You know that to me is not favela, but I can see how it's inspired by the favelas, and he has used the 3D models from Anda. So that qualifies. And I think if you were to do this similar thing, but in photography sense, that would be completely fine. Or, you could have some space, you could put them in space or underwater.
I think also, for instance, this one from Maria was also, it's like Inception style, but it's still using the models, and it still has the feeling of the favela,
Yeah.
And also, I mean, this one was more along the lines of cyberpunk favela, maybe a little bit. But still, it made the top 10. So in the end, we did look for like the image, the image content was important, like how the image looked.
Yeah. I mean, you can somewhat analyze the winners and the top 5 of the last part and deduce, okay, there's a lot of variation in their artwork. So it's really just about executing your vision as well as possible.
Somehow I've got out of the. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going out of this now. Yeah. I got out of the folder somehow. I don't know. Showing extra images. It's okay. They were all shown on the screen before anyway. So I don't know, guys. Are we? I think we've pretty much described everything.
I would recommend anyone watching this tune in tomorrow. Conrad, you're going to post when your video is going to go live, right? And we're going to repost it so that at least people can have an idea, looking at you working, what you might be expecting for this competition. And I think that's it.
The tutorial will appear on the challenge announcements page. So you will see it where in the same area that the downloads are on that right-hand side. It will be listed there as a little thumbnail, say unlock the tutorial for free, and you'll be able to watch it.
Good.
So
all right.
Awesome.
Okay, Michael had another comment, but Michael, I think just pay attention to everything that's coming out. And man, I know you make amazing stuff. You'll be able to come up with something. I mean, you're asking a lot of questions. I think you need to decide to do something, to what you want to do, and do it, because you're a great artist, and you'll surely come up with something good.
And I would say we are amongst the most flexible in terms of how we apply the rules. So go for the one that you think is just going to look absolutely balls to the wall spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Break the rules.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, great. So thanks a lot, Conrad, for being here with us again today. And we are really looking forward to this second part. I think it's going to be cool to see even more. Probably we'll see even more people from the matte paint community get involved, because it's like a more traditional matte painting style idea, from the contest. So I'm really looking forward to this. And Fabio, you have any last thoughts?
Not really. I just, I look forward to this, because this is going to put a lot of 3D artists into a very uncomfortable place. But in my life, the uncomfortable place was what made me grow right? What pushed
Yeah.
me, and it's what has allowed me to learn skills that I never thought I would learn. Like I've learned unwrapping, man. This is like for an archivist artist, this is crazy. It's like 99.5% of all renderings, archivist renderings that you see out there, they all use box mapping. That's
Cube map.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Cube map, yeah.
Cube map, adjust scale, done.
Next. All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I guess I'll talk to you in the morning. We'll put the tutorial up online, so keep an eye out there. But in the meantime, get signed up, download the stuff, get started.
Yep. Looking forward. All right.
Ooh,
Thanks.
ooh, ooh, ooh. That's the outro.
Thanks to everybody for joining us today. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.
See
Have
ya.
a great day.
Okay.
We forgot to say